Welcome, everybody, to the Crack the Code podcast. Super excited to have my friend Sarah Stokes with us today. Sarah Stokes is a breakthrough business coach and mastermind leader with the Juicy Good Life, where she helps unbury world changers from the mountains of shoulds they are suffering under. She believes when visionary female founders have more joy and when their businesses are thriving, they have energy to change the world in the unique way they are here to make it better. So welcome, Sarah.
Thank you so much, Cora. This is a true delight. I am so excited to talk to you.
Yes, and I hope everybody that's listening on the podcast will check out the video on YouTube because Sarah's juicy life background looks so amazing with the flowers. And if you're watching this in the winter, it'll look really nice to cheer you up a little bit.
There we go. Yes, I got to add color all the
Yeah,
time. Bring
awesome.
sunshine in.
Yes. So today we're going to do a little quick interview with Sarah, and then we'll have her back another time with the juicier, longer story. So I know, Sarah, you've had a lot of success in your career, in your life. And so today we're just going to ask you, what do you feel was the one thing that contributed to your success?
Yeah, so it's fun to be able to look back on that and figure out what was the common denominator because I've had the traditional, career route after college, 17 years in TV news, then I owned a magazine, then I owned a marketing agency, and now I own a business coaching practice. And truly if I'm honest about what was the biggest factor in my success, it is knowing myself at a new, deeper level almost every day. So as that 20 something coming up in your career, climbing the ladder, you think you know yourself, but it's a different sort of spin on it. Like, I know that I'm going to achieve A, B, C, and D, and I'm going to take this route on my career and have kids and I literally knew I would be a TV anchor, have two kids with my husband. It would be a fairy tale, and I literally followed the path and did all those things. But now, as a 44-year-old Sarah, I have such a deep understanding of who it is I am. And as I look back over every business success or life success, it is because I knew who I was at that time. I knew I was an open, tender heart who cared that the world is made better every day. And that has been the number one thing I've taken with me to any business. So I've had a wide variety, right? And I
Yeah.
think if you know yourself, you will not be swayed by the winds of the world, especially there's so many shoulds, right? We'll talk about that
Yeah.
another time.
Yeah. On the big
But
one. Yeah.
if you know yourself deeply, you won't be led as far astray because we can spend decades following someone else's path for us. Or we can learn about ourselves, navigate through all those deep feelings that we might have or big dreams, and go at our own path and reach our own then destiny. And I
Yeah.
really believe that. So
Yeah.
I'd say knowing myself is the biggest factor.
So how do people get to really know themselves? See, I think that is part of the journey and part of the challenge. I know,
Mm.
for myself, it's been a lifelong journey figuring out what do I want to do when I grow up, but knowing really it took a long time to figure out what was ticking on the inside that was the,
Yeah.
holding me back. So how, or maybe you have some tips for people on how to really get to know themselves on the inside.
Yes. Well, I start a lot of times by asking people who are at that place where they're like, I can't even hear what I want from my own brain anymore. I say, well, what don't you want? Let's start there. It's much easier for our brain to say, I don't want dot, 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 dot. And it'll be a big list. And so you then start to learn about yourself there. Okay, I know what I don't want. And that's where we spend, let's just say, at least 10 to 15 years, right? We're gossiping at work, we're watching junky, trashy TV, eating junk, and we figure out at some point we don't want that. So then what's the opposite of that then? Let's just say come up with three things that you don't want and write the polar opposite. That will give you a clue on what you do want and start small. My first foray into burnout and recovery from burnout was figuring out all I wanted was to go to a movie by myself. So it can be that small. And
Yeah.
going to a movie by myself felt like climbing Mount Everest at the time, right? Because I was just buried in all the obligations. I also say to people when you're learning about yourself, look around for who truly inspires you. What is it about them that brings you joy? What is it about them that motivates you? That's probably a clue because we can't see in others what we don't already have in ourselves. So if you're totally in a fog, start there. I think that would help. Journaling is a huge tool for me. Walks with no earbuds in, just listening to my heartbeat and nature, I end up learning a lot about myself. And then as you advance, actually feeling the feelings we have helps you learn a whole bunch more. But we don't feel the feelings because we're numbing them with food or wine or Netflix.
Yeah.
So that's the master class in knowing yourself is
Yeah.
feeling your feelings, but the other two things can start you if you're really like a beginner on that journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what the emotion code to help people release the negative trapped emotions because we have
Yeah.
so many self-doubts, negative self-talk. Sometimes we're not even sure where that's coming from. But in this day and
Right.
age, it's so easy. And I know I'm struggle with this myself is, we're always doing something, even if it's just scrolling on your phone, looking at Facebook and not taking the time to just be for a few
Yeah.
minutes a day. Like people say, oh, I can't meditate because my brain's always going. Well, we never really give it a chance to slow down, except for maybe when we're sleeping. And even then, a
Yeah.
lot of women have troubles with sleeping. So even then, we're not always getting the rest and the recharge.
Yes, and that's why your work is so important because it's one thing to know you don't feel great. It's a whole beautiful, joyful expansion to release it, especially if it's been there holding you back for so long. So thank you for doing that work on this planet.
Yeah, thank
Truly,
you.
it's
Yes,
huge.
it's
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun, and it's nice because it is not hard.
Yeah.
People don't realize that there are modalities out there, and to search around and look for different ways to release emotions or get to know yourself. Don't just write it off, whether it's a health issue or an emotional issue. There
Right.
are ways to make your life better.
Yes. And to
Yeah.
embrace that we're complex. I used to think I didn't get sad or angry, right? That's my 20-year-old self is like, I'm just a
Mm.
machine. I'm an achievement machine. Here we go. And now I'm like, wow, I get sad. I get disappointed. We have such a wide variety, but I do want to move through it, and that's why your work is so key. Yeah, because we don't
Yeah.
want to stay there. We don't want to stay there. It's not helpful for
Yeah.
long periods of time. So,
Exactly, right?
yes. Yes.
Yes. So nice. So what's one maybe little or what do you have? Do you have something you want to share with our listeners today or a giveaway or
I
um
do.
oh, okay.
Yes, I do. So hopefully linked in the show notes, there's a
Yes.
spot where you can sign up for. I have a free video training called Finish Strong. And this will help you at any point in the year. It does not matter if you have a business or don't have a business. These are key principles for life that I personally use and use with my clients to help me finish whatever it is strong, whether it's the end of the year, a project, a promise to yourself. So go ahead and sign up for that. And if you prefer, I have a beautiful ebook that goes with it. But I
Yes.
also like having the option of the video training where I guide you through it with my voice and a visual too. So
Nice.
thank
Yes.
you for letting me share that.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm going to be checking that out. I'm very visual, so I do like having that, but I like reading too. So it's nice to
Yes.
have the option depending on where you're at if you have the
Yeah.
time. Well, thank you so much for sharing that success stories with us today. And we look forward to having you on next time where we're going to deep dive into the shoulds.
Oh,
Thank you.